As you may be aware, my ministry, the Ministry of Political and Public Affairs, provides oversight functions to the Office of Diaspora Affairs, highlight the importance of leveraging diaspora investment as part of our government's developmental agenda, as enshrined in the President's Bill's address on the occasion of the State Opening of Parliament, in which he mentioned that, and I quote, 1, to mobilize and leverage Sierra Leonean and diaspora business communities for investment and trade in Sierra Leone. 2, develop interactive mechanisms and special incentive for Sierra Leonean diaspora business communities. And 3, to encourage Sierra Leonean diaspora to form professional fora abroad. The Agribusiness Investment Forum, and end of quote. The Agribusiness Investment Forum is one such vehicle in realizing this objective by creating the fora to mobilize diaspora capital, skills, and knowledge to contribute to enterprise development in the agribusiness sector in Sierra Leone. As Sierra Leone enters a new era, the country is keen to restore investor confidence and attract investment from both its diaspora kinfolk and foreign direct investors. The findings from a World Bank study conducted in 2015, examining potential Sierra Leonean diaspora investors' perspectives, suggest that 1, feelings of pride and frustrations are prevalent in the mobilized Sierra Leonean diaspora community, and there is a need to build trust within the diaspora community, between the diaspora and government and people of Sierra Leone. 2, substantial gaps still exist between current levels of actual diaspora investment and diaspora investment interest. The mobilized diaspora is particularly interested in making investment in the education, healthcare, and agribusiness sectors, as well as in other sectors associated with the country's general infrastructure and business enabling environment. 3, diaspora capital currently is impeded by numerous perceived obstacles to investment, particularly issues related to government policy and practice, weak infrastructure, and some local human capital challenges. Our hope is to turn this around by engaging the Sierra Leonean diaspora and foreign direct investors alike through forums such as this to continue to improve the country's image and credibility as an investment destination. Agriculture has been and will always be a crucial sector in Sierra Leone's development, and one that we cannot afford to ignore. In pursuing this government's agenda to maximize benefits to provide sector investments for food and nutrition security, concerted efforts are needed to improve the business environment. Again, as stated in the President's address in the State Opening of Parliament, urgent attention should be given to the development of agricultural value chain integration in order to boost our farmers' incomes, create value addition in the sector, and generate much needed employment opportunities, especially for our women and youth. Small-scale farmers linked to large-scale businesses or organized in groups will diversify their production into higher value crops, adopt better production processes, and earn higher output prices. This forum will seek to build on continuing efforts to build the agricultural sector by bringing agribusiness development to the fore of our country's structural transformation agenda. There is increased recognition of the importance of private sector development for food and nutrition security, as illustrated in the UN 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the Malabo Declaration on Accelerated Agricultural Growth and Transformation. It is largely recognized that while the promotion of private sector activities in agriculture has been part of the development cooperation strategies in recent years, there has been a shift towards a more proactive role of the private sector, defined as a partner to address agricultural development challenges. Developed and developing countries rely on agriculture for economic growth. In a situation where per capita real growth income is low, like in the case of Sierra Leone, emphasis is particularly being placed on agriculture and other primary industries. It is to this end, therefore, that the Ministry of Political and Public Affairs will continue to be committed to helping to create the space to harness diaspora investment and attract foreign direct investment into this crucial sector. The Agribusiness Forum attempts to link Sierra Leoneans' agricultural businesses with their Japanese counterparts with the aim of fostering cooperation and enhancing foreign direct investment. It is in this vein that the ministry is anticipating a bigger forum in the coming years. I want to take this opportunity to thank all participants in this forum, especially our Japanese friends who have traveled thousands of miles to Sierra Leone. They have not only participated in this forum, but contributed to actualizing His Excellency the President's vision in his new direction agenda.
JETRO and the Japanese companies and people and government of Japan, that we are very happy to be here because of the good relations between the peoples of Japan and people of the Republic of Sierra Leone. Although we live far away, but interestingly, there is partnership, friendship that cut across oceans. And I'm pleased that this program will generate even more and greater friendship. Therefore, I am very happy to be here. Thirdly, I'm very happy to be here because the Japanese business community who are in this room, thanks to a very dedicated organization by the JETRO, Japan External Trade Organization, who have organized this group. They are here, but this is the beginning. We need everybody's engagement to make their good intention to be materialized on the ground. And I'm very happy to see this lineup, impressive lineup of ministers, and that is very assuring for the Japanese participants, as well as the presence of other partners in this room. So I'm very happy, and I close my remarks to say once again, I'm very happy. Thank you.
Let me begin this brief statement by thanking the International Organization for Migration in Sierra Leone and its partners, especially the government of Japan, for organizing a forum like this, which promises to generate renewed public interest and engagement around the agribusiness sector. This is an area which our President, His Excellency Julius Maada Bio, believes has the true potential to transform our country's economy and lift millions of Sierra Leoneans out of abject poverty. Co-chairpersons, this Diaspora Agribusiness Forum is apt, as it is organized at a time when the government of Sierra Leone, through my ministry, is developing a new national plan. Our National Development Plan, Education for Development, aims to transform our economy and engender sustainable development for all Sierra Leoneans. I strongly believe that the outcome of the constructive engagements that will take place here would be invaluable in shaping our thinking as a government on how we engage with our brothers and sisters in the diaspora to take full advantage of our development opportunities and make Sierra Leone a country that we can all be proud of. Mr. Chairman, Madam Chairperson, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my ministry's perspective on the theme of this year's Agribusiness Forum is in line with my own personal conviction, also shared by many, that Sierra Leoneans living in the diaspora deserve to be given the fair opportunity to define the role they would like to play in the development of their country by meaningfully contributing to various growth sectors, of which agribusiness is one. My ministry is inclined to take national planning to a whole new level and aims to signal this ambition in terms of vision, breadth, ownership, and impact. As such, we seek to bring on board and embrace as many as we can to ensure that we deepen our understanding of where we want to go and define how we want to get there. Therefore, learning from successive of countries around Africa, coupled up with the potentials presented in our country, it is essential that we mainstream and institutionalize diasporas throughout national processes as they are a valuable resource. What we shall do as a government is to create the enabling environment and the liberal economic space needed for our members of the diaspora to constructively contribute to our development strides. Our ultimate aim is to enhance our productivity and competitiveness for us to produce more of what we consume and export more goods and services to the rest of the world. This certainly guarantees jobs, wealth, and the stability we so dearly crave for. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in defining the role of Sierra Leone's diaspora in transforming the agribusiness sector, I would like to bring to our attention a few facts which I believe would guide our brothers and sisters as they set out to identify their own role in promoting agribusiness over the next couple of days. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Sierra Leone agribusiness is increasingly establishing itself globally as an investable asset, and the country's potential for large-scale agricultural production is colossal. For Sierra Leoneans living in the diaspora with the necessary capital and expertise, this investment opportunity is like a low-hanging fruit that is ready to be picked. My advice to you, therefore, is to take full advantage of this opportunity in order to create a wealthy and prosperous nation. Furthermore, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, information on the unending potential of our agribusiness sector is currently not effectively communicated with the outside world, and this is an area in which I strongly believe that Sierra Leoneans living in the diaspora can be of tremendous help to the land that we all love. The use of modern ICT, especially the social media, to advertise our agribusiness potential with the aim of attracting credible investors to the sector could be an important point of departure for Sierra Leoneans living in the diaspora as we all search for a way to transform the sector to enhance sustainable economic growth. Ladies and gentlemen, it is high time we started using modern technologies for the purpose of sharing in the burgeoning global wealth and prosperity, rather than to use it as a tool to bring our fellow Sierra Leoneans down. Mr. Chairman, Madam Chair, I also believe that Sierra Leone's diaspora should take the lead in advocating for the transfer of other technologies which will improve the quality and quantity of production and also connect farmers with markets among other important benefits. Also broadening the horizon of the farmers in terms of their knowledge and skills in the cultivation of certain commercial intensive crops can also be achieved through the transfer of technical expertise into Sierra Leone. In essence, ladies and gentlemen, it is my firm belief that even though our country is still in need of a lot of financial support to transform our growth sectors, the time is now right for us to shift emphasis to technical expert support and bridging the digital equality to effectively catch up with our benevolent aid providers as we push to become equal partners at the global stage. In the area of agribusiness, bridging the widening digital divide and injecting technical expertise into the sector can promote mechanization, improve the commercialization of agricultural products, and ultimately transform the lives of smallholder farmers and their families. This, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the objectives of our New Direction agenda, and we are absolutely delighted that IOM and its partners have begun discussions in this regard. My ministry will surely continue arrangements and engagements with you to ensure that your own perspective on these development issues are reflected in our new National Development Plan. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in my capacity as co-chair of the International Dialogue and chair of the G7 Plus group of fragile states, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that important as economic growth is to Sierra Leone's development, we must always strive for inclusive growth that is shared with a wider number of Sierra Leoneans. This is central to our prospects for building a resilient nation in which everyone feels they have a stake. As investors, entrepreneurs, national champions, I urge you all as Sierra Leonean diasporas to put Sierra Leone first in your considerations and ask yourself, what steps can you take to enhance national cohesion, peace building, state building, and stability? Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me conclude by thanking all participants who have endeavored to attend this forum, including our members of the diaspora and our loyal development partners. This exemplifies our willingness as a people to work together towards achieving our shared development goals. I once again thank IOM and everyone who in their diverse ways contributed to organizing this forum. I hope that the resolutions reached over the 2 days period will be fully implemented by all stakeholders involved for the benefit of Sierra Leone and all Sierra Leoneans.
We heard here today, lasting change, partnership, joint ventures, enhancing productivity and competitiveness, transform the economy of Sierra Leone, and also everyone's engagement. Because that is really what it's going to take for us to grow as a nation, everyone's engagement. So,
colleague ministers, members of the diplomatic corps, ladies and gentlemen, I thank Madam Chair for the brief introduction. The only change I will put there is that I don't speak Italian, but I speak German. I wish to thank, and of course, first of all, acknowledge IOM for organizing this forum. And I thank the ambassador and the people of Japan for providing the necessary resources and even making sure that we have in our midst 11 companies that are here to listen, to hear us, and subsequently make up their minds to invest in Sierra Leone. I will begin by stating what His Excellency the President promulgated in the State of Parliament, and that he prioritized agriculture to be, or as an engine for socio-economic growth. And we all have seen how unstable, how undependable these resources have been, and I'm sure they will continue to be. In his speech at that Parliament opening, he stated that the overall goal of our agricultural policy is sustainable and diversified production of food on a scale enough to feed the growing population, as well as providing gainful employment. Our immediate priority actions will focus on, he said, one, attracting and increasing investment in agriculture. Like I said, attracting and increasing investment in agriculture. Number two, he said, sustainable investment in mechanized, commercialized agriculture. Let's take note. And number three, he said, increasing food crop production, increasing and diversifying cash crop production, increasing livestock production, improving irrigation and water management, improving land management, and finally, improving governance and research. Governance here means how we organize ourselves to make sure that agriculture, that production, the entire value chain is set up in such a way it can be an engine for economic growth in Sierra Leone. He further mentioned that investment in agriculture will largely be private sector driven, and this I want to underline. Private sector driven. We want to develop agriculture in such a way that government washes off its hands from what is happening. We only regulate, we create the enabling environment that can let you, the private sector, be active. You make money, you make our people happy. He also emphasized that the political class, please take note, the political class and upper middle class must demonstrate interest in agriculture. That means inclusive participation by all, not only external investors, but also we who are in here. In fact, directly from what I heard, because I was just seated by the side, if the next time to participate and get into parliament, one of the tickets, one of the things you have to show is a well-functioning farm from which you can employ people, or you are employing people and you are producing and we are taking care of other people. So that is what that means. When I took office, about 5 months ago, we did a quick scan of the current status of the agriculture sector with the following observations. I think as an investor, you need to know this. What is the status? What are we doing now? What are you getting into? Despite huge investment in agriculture over decades from the records, our farming system in the country are largely primitive, leading to low production and productivity, and invariably food insecurity. The new direction therefore opines that about 500 million is spent on food imports every year, and about 200 million of this is spent on the importation of rice, which is our staple food. That is shameful, and that is unacceptable for this government. There is poor development of value chains resulting to low returns for the sale of our agricultural products. We export raw materials, coffee, cocoa, no added value. Take note. There are so many areas you can be active in. The enabling environment through policies are either not available or when available they are poorly implemented. At another level, we found out that some policies contradict themselves across the sector. That was when we were doing our scanning, when we came in. Women and youths who are the drivers of agriculture are not meaningfully engaged and encouraged. We have acknowledged increased deforestation when we come to our biodiversity due to urbanization, and burn farming practices, mining, pools and charcoal harvest, logging, etc. These are however not complemented by a commensurate investment in reforestation and afforestation programs. That is for those who want to invest in timber or forestry products. Lastly, there is low private sector investment in agriculture that we observe. This is an unfortunate situation if agriculture has to be the socio-economic engine for growth and development in Sierra Leone. Based on all these things that we found out, and the vision of His Excellency the President, my ministry has created a 5-year strategic plan, the National Agricultural Transformation to 2023 strategy. We call it NAT 2023. With 4 key value chains and 3 enablers that looks at an integrated approach to interventions. The 4 key value chains are rice self-sufficiency, encourage and mobilize the private sector in an attractive business environment along the rice value chain. That is 1, and in fact it is number 1. So we are inviting investors in this sector. The number 2 is livestock value chain improved with the animal health delivery infrastructure available countrywide. This is to address our precarious situation that when I read from the WFP report that Sierra Leone has 37.3% malnutrition, malnourished people or children, mostly children, and that is unfortunate because our protein intake is abysmally low. Crop diversification that includes the development of 3 crops. We have the 3 C's now, which we are developing: cocoa, coffee, cashew. Then after that we have legumes, cereals, and vegetables. And the 4th chain is sustainable biodiversity management through the protection of forests and fragile ecosystem. These are our 4 core value chains in which we are inviting investment. Now let me state you the 3 enablers which we have identified. Of course, the policy environment is number 1, which really steers investors, especially when it comes to taxes and other things that will help them to invest properly. The second enabler is promoting women and youth in agriculture, because they are the ones that are going to play the magic. That's where the workforce is. That's where the technology transfer is. That's where the know-how is. And the 3rd one is set up private sector-led mechanization and technology. You see, our agriculture has been, is dependent on cutlass and hoe. and that cannot take us to anywhere, and that must stop. Mechanization, we have to do that. We have no choice. Of course, this is a power philosophy and policy. We have no choice. We have to mechanize. This forum, the role of Sierra Leone's diaspora in transforming the agribusiness sector, is apt and timely. The private sector is relevant in the creation of high-value jobs in processing through successful agribusiness across the country. All citizens at home and abroad have important roles, therefore, to play, and the diaspora is one such big chunk for us. All these challenges, of course, mentioned before, indicate opportunities to innovate and to solve problems. I mean, the challenges I mentioned before, they are at the same time opportunities for investment. Better coordination is critical, which is why it is significant that my trade and industry and planning and development counterpart ministers are also here in our government management setup. We work in groups, we work in teams, so that we coordinate and collaborate. Through the office of the Chief Minister, the Minister of Planning, etc., better coordination is high on the President's agenda. Presence and active engagement of Sierra Leone's diaspora is a significant opportunity we must exploit to the full, and this is an opportunity which we must exploit. Diasporans can play multiple roles. One, as entrepreneurs. I know in the audience we have entrepreneurs or agripreneurs, as you are called now in the audience. And we salute you for your efforts. The second group, these are investors. Individually and collectively, Sierra Leone's diaspora has access to millions, if not billions of dollars that can be used for productive investments in agribusiness, which will create jobs, improve our balance of trade, diversify our economy, and ensure our people have access to affordable, nutritious food. The next group among you are skilled personnel. Development is all about human capital, which is why His Excellency has launched the free quality education initiative. But in the meantime, Sierra Leoneans abroad can and must bring back their skills to advance this nation's development. Champions with access to networks, contacts, people who can mentor and provide advice, etc. This is another group I know definitely that is among you. The government cannot do it on its own, and we strongly believe that the private sector has a major role to play to meet our priority areas. Let us take inspiration. More digression. Let us take inspiration from other countries where diasporas contributions to the development of their countries of origin has been pivotal, especially in agriculture and agribusiness. Today, as we visit Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, and this illustrates the power and potential of diaspora capital in the hotels and hospitality industries, but diasporas have played roles across the whole country. Again, in Rwanda, the government has set a clear vision for the country's future, and the diaspora's role is getting there. In Ghana, our neighbor, the government has set about creating enabling conditions for economic growth, to which its diaspora has responded positively. A fourth example is Somalia, a country still troubled by violence and instability, but that has not stopped the diaspora from playing its part of developing their country. These examples tell us that Sierra Leoneans should not wait for the perfect moment, because there will never be a perfect moment. No time is better than now. We shall of course not let up to continuously improve the climate through concerted policy interventions, but we urge you to seize this moment. The Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry will ensure that the enabling environment is created to ease the doing business in the agri sector, of course, all together with other relevant ministries, other ministries of government. As I conclude, therefore, I hereby encourage our private sector actors to join us in changing the landscape, not only for the realization of our ministry's priority value chain and agriculture, but agriculture in its entirety. Let's keep the conversation moving. A forum such as this is not a one-off event, and I encourage it not to be a one-off event. We need a continuous dialogue to identify and address our collective challenges. Our diaspora today are our 17th district. You know, we have 16 districts in Sierra Leone. Our diaspora is our 17th district. So we see you as part of us. It is not a case of us versus them. We need to institutionalize ways of involving you, the diaspora, in conversations about how we move Sierra Leone forward. Let us all be constructive in striving forward with a collective will that together we can transform this nation into one in which we shall all feel proud and feed ourselves and grow what we eat and eat what we grow. And now I set a challenge that at the end of these deliberations, we will have diaspora registered investors ready and prepared to get started. I wish you well in your deliberations and request IOM to provide my office with a report on discussions and recommendations, which I promise we shall consider carefully. As a government, I thank you all.